New this morning, top lawmakers say that the opening of U.S. Embassy in Cuba is imminent. This comes after more than half a century of icy relations with the old Cold War foe. Nation Matters this morning. Some Shelby County school teachers are spending part of the summer planning for their future, but not necessarily your children's, but their futures. April, Memphis police were called out here when someone told them they suspected something unusual here at this cemetery. As you can see, it is still an active scene out here. Several squad cars. That woman told police it all started in this Walmart parking lot. She says a man with a handgun forced her into her car and told her to drive away. It's 17 pages, so a very lengthy ordinance. We are on Highway 3 right now, and people tell me they are frustrated because this is what they have to deal with right now. As you can see, it really looks like a pond in front of people's homes. She had an unforgettable voice. Singer Natalie Cole, daughter of the legendary Nat King Cole, has died. Judge Dan Michael says he plans to meet with his legal team to look at ways to make sure juvenile court is run properly, even on a tight budget. We are told that family started jumping out of windows. They were able to get out of the apartment just in time. Charges have now been filed against a Mid-South mother accused of murdering her own children, the youngest just 6 months old. Thanks for joining us, everyone, on News Channel 3 at 5. I'm Siobhan Riley. We begin with breaking news of those charges against 29-year-old Shanithra Yari Gardner. The Shelby County Sheriff's Office says she is the woman who killed 4 of her children at the family's home at the Greens of Irene Apartments in southeast Shelby County yesterday. She faces numerous charges tonight, and we are now getting our first look at what happened inside that apartment. WRAG's Zanetta Lowe is live at the Greens of Irene with the latest information. This is the mother officially charged now with murdering 4 of her children. Her name is Shanithra Gardner. She often goes by the name Yari, and she works at ALSAC, the fundraising arm of St. Jude. She is charged with, among other things, first-degree murder in the deaths of 4 young children. A breaking news update. Memphis police confirm search crews have recovered the body of a 6-year-old from a lake in northeast Memphis. The boy was fishing with his family Friday night when he jumped in the water. WRAG spoke with the child's distraught aunt.
This devastating to us right now. Ma'am, I have lost everything in me. We just lost our grandma. And now this, so you know I'm hurt. Everything. It's my heart. That's my man. Y'all need to watch our kids. You can turn your head 1 second and they be gone. And they be gone when we can't do nothing about it.
Very unfortunate for that family. Crews searched for the boy for hours, but he was already dead when they found him.
This is News Channel 3 at 4:30.
Raw images gripping our nation this week. On the left, you're watching the shooting death of Alton Sterling by white police officers, a shooting many are calling unjustified and racially charged. On the right, the aftermath of 5 officers killed in Dallas while protecting protesters calling for change in light of Sterling's death. Tonight, Memphis leaders are calling these images snapshots of a bigger problem. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Siobhan Riley. WRAG's Elise Preston spoke with those leaders who say this weekend they are hoping to help fix that problem through criminal justice reform. The forum is set for Sunday. It will be held at First Baptist Broad from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. We've been following the developments of all aspects of this story as they unfold. Dallas authorities say the gunman who shot and killed 5 police officers is 25-year-old Micah Xavier Johnson, an Army Reserve veteran from Mesquite, Texas. A law enforcement official says Johnson had no criminal record or known terror ties. He was killed by a Dallas police bomb squad robot after negotiations failed. Now, the lives of 5 officers killed are being remembered with this memorial. Dallas police tweeted this picture. They say 2 squad cars have been set up in front of the DPD headquarters. Thousands have taken to social media expressing a range of outrage, emotion, and response. But we've also been using social media to get updates on information from around the country. Today, Louisiana's Governor John Bel Edwards tweeted the investigation of Alton Sterling's death will be complete and impartial. And he added the Department of Justice has begun that process. And here in Memphis, organizers will host a vigil at the National Civil Rights Museum tonight. Choose 901 posted the information across their platform saying the vigil will start at 8 o'clock. As investigators and the public comb the facts in the shootings of two black men, shockwaves out of outrage sets in. But as WRAG's Otis Sanford tells us, in this point of view, there are also officers out there who deserve kudos instead of criticism. We're in day 3 of extreme heat this week, and our weather experts are watching the skies. Our chief meteorologist is here, and Tim, I hear we're watching out for 2 different weather events, correct? Just days after Mississippi's religious freedom law was struck down by a federal court, the governor is trying to work it back in. Governor Phil Bryant filed an appeal notice asking the court to let the bill go into effect. That bill would allow businesses and even state officers to deny services to same-sex couples. The law was supposed to go into effect on July 1st. Lawmaker versus landscapers. New information about the alleged brawl that landed Mississippi State Senator Chris Massey behind bars yesterday. Massey, his father, and 2 landscapers were arrested in Olive Branch after police say they got into some sort of fight. WRAG's Luke Jones spent the day trying to get Massey's side of the story. Traffic is now clear following a vehicle fire on a normally busy Memphis road. Our very own Tim Simpson, he snapped a picture of this car fire on Covington Pike. A nationwide effort is setting up shop in the Mid-South, and it won't cost you a dime. Our crews were in Olive Branch as One Voice Mississippi brought the Adopt a Cop program. One of the organizers says it's a great way to use faith to lift up law enforcement officers.
We recognize they put their lives on the line every day.
Tina Tatum is the state prayer coordinator, and you can adopt a cop by going online. You can select an area of prayer that you want to provide, and the officers submit their names voluntarily with request. We'll have more information and links online to this story. Just go to WREG.com. This weekend, Memphis prepares to say goodbye to 4 children murdered by their mother. Well, some of those victims were so upset that they left the courtroom directly after Henry Munger pleaded guilty. We got a chance to listen to one of those young ladies speak today, and you oftentimes wondered if she was even going to be able to get through it, but she finally had the strength to stand up to Munger, and she tells him that she's so happy to know he won't be able to do this to anybody else.
It hurt my heart that you took advantage of me like that, me and my sisters at a very young age.
This victim couldn't stop shaking when she was asked if she wanted to say anything to Henry Munger after he changed his plea. She was just a child when he started raping her, and it lasted for years. We're not going to show her face to protect her identity.
I can barely go on with my own life because I let the stuff you have done predict my future.
Munger's victims were as young as 5 years old. He was sentenced to 15 years for the 2 rape of child convictions and 8 years on a separate rape charge. Munger didn't seem too concerned about the sentence or the emotional stress he caused.
When you plead guilty, these are convictions that go on your record. These are serious felonies.
Well, I'd be dead anyway, so I accept that.
His victims were in court, but Munger never looked them in the eye. This victim says she's glad it's over and is getting some closure.
Oh, childhood is gone because of that. I'm just glad I'm brave enough to stick up to you and say what I have to say to go on with my life. I can't let you hold me down no more.
Wow, and the judge also told the victim that she is very proud of that victim for being able to stand up to Munger. She says she's happy she got the courage to do that. Henry's wife, Barbara, is facing charges for trying to convince one of the girls to lie to detectives. And Henry Munger's son, who's a former police officer, is set to go to trial next month for sexually assaulting a family member. Reporting live in downtown Memphis, Siobhan Riley, WREG News Channel 3. Claudia, things have certainly calmed down here quite a bit, but earlier it was very chaotic. You couldn't even get down this street where the shooting happened. We are on Hester Street, and it was very crazy out here. A lot of neighbors came out to see what was going on, and those neighbors say they cannot believe a police officer was shot.
I was back here working. We heard 2 shots. We came up. We saw a car fly by, and then we saw like one of the police cars, plane cars behind him. And then the next thing we know, we heard the gentleman holler twice down there.
Some neighbors say it was hard to tell where the shots came from, but it didn't take long to find out. They came outside to crime tape and several Memphis police officers outside their home.
When they shoot a police officer, you know what they'll do to us.
The officer shot in the leg on Hester Street is Robert Armour with the Organized Crime Unit. He started following Daniel Jefferson after reports of drug activity. Investigators say when Armour identified himself, Jefferson started shooting.
So we thought he had died because we didn't hear nothing else. Then next thing you know, here they come, all of them. Came down there to his rescue.
Chaos, crazy, unsafe, just so much.
Neighbors say generally this is a quiet community. They weren't afraid to come outside of their homes until this happened.
Now we see that the policemen are getting harmed too. It's like, I mean, what is it? What do it take for us to wake up and just say, hey, let's have a nice day today?
Graffiti like this litters basketball courts across the city, but one Memphis man is doing everything he can to clean up courts so kids can have a safer place to play.
I love playing outdoor basketball. I'll come back and fill in the missing gaps, so it'll be one solid line.
Daniel Peterson with Project Backboard says a lot of outdoor basketball courts in South Memphis are in bad shape. That's why he started the project. He's cleaning up graffiti and painting lines on this court in Gaston Park in South Memphis.
I'll do part of this while my paint's drying, and then go do some more, add some more lines to the court, come back here, take off some more graffiti, and then when I get it all off, add the backboard square here, just in an orange red, so folks who want to work on their bank shot have some place to aim at.
In the past, kids were creating their own foul lines, three-point lines, and out-of-bounds lines, just so they could play a game of basketball. Peterson says there are 51 outdoor courts in Memphis. Only 18 have lines on them.
Even just adding the lines, not doing anything else to the court, I always talk to kids at these different parks, and they always talk about how it's like a whole brand new court, and really, you know, it's $100 worth of pain in a little bit of time.
Peterson doesn't get paid to do this. He does it because he knows the impact something like this can have on the kids who come to this park. Maddie Fitzgerald, who lives in the neighborhood, says her great-grandchildren play at the park every day. She knows they will be pleased with the end result.
That's good. That's great.
In South Memphis, Siobhan Riley, WREG News Channel 3. Good morning, Adam. We are told that family started jumping out of windows. They were able to get out of the apartment just in time. As you can see, fire crews are still out here investigating.